Should be streaming. All right, and we're live, guys. Once again, this is back-to-back nights. Last night was incredible. We had Kyrie Todd on with Anthony Everett. Good
A
dose of
whole
shit
lot of
talk last
smoke
night.
talk.
Unreal. I mean, that's one of the funniest things I've ever seen when we opened up. And I said, we got two special guests tonight. And Kyrie said, nah, we only got one. I was like, that right on the bat. So that's what we're living up to tonight. We got two special guests tonight. We got already Team Shamrock. Wilfredo's been our guy the whole time we've been in here. It was last August 14th. New England the Future 7 with Carlos. That was the first legendary fight. Since then, my man's gotten robbed. That's my opinion. He should have 3 belts now. I mean, but this is we got a good one coming up here. My man Augustine here put on a show in
Augustine said he's
Springfield.
taking that belt.
It's my title. You know what I'm saying? It's time. I push motherfuckers over, and I take my spot, man. All respect to Wilfredo Pagan, you know, and his team, and I know he's a hard worker, and I know all these good and great things about him. But that night on the 15th is my night. You know, that's my night, and I'm gonna make sure I make it known to Wilfredo Pagan and his team that that's my night. And I'll tell you right now, Wilfredo Pagan, that's my night.
All right,
July
brother.
15th, it's my night, my brother.
Same thing I'm gonna say. You know, like it's gonna be my night. I mean, this is gonna be my fourth time trying. You know, for the belt. So anything been happen to me. So I'm not sound like I'm not positive. I'm 100% positive this is gonna be my night. I'm just gonna bring what I do best and just gonna give a good fight. I know you're a warrior like me. I know you're gonna bring it too. We all know that. We knew to the beginning.
Nah, I'm a warrior like me. I'm not a warrior like you, my brother. I'm a warrior like me. I'm not a warrior like
well, you're right. Whatever.
So I want to touch a little on that. We got the first time. So the first time I'll start off with Augustine. First time I ever heard of this man. He was a 6-1 fighter, fighting one of the baddest motherfuckers to come out of this region, and that's Matt Too Sharp Remillard. Matt had worked his way up the rankings. I think he was probably like 23-0 at the time. He fought Mikey Garcia. He got into a little bit of illegal trouble, was away for a while. His comeback fight, he fought on our show, New England's Future #2. And that was the first time I ever heard of this Augustine Mauras. He was, like I said, he was 6-1 at the time. And I remember at the press conference, he came with a whole lot of swag, a whole lot of talk. He definitely got Matt out of his element, because Matt went from like this smiling, quiet kind of guy to it looked like there was about to be a full-blown brawl at my press. Like my dad had to get between them.
Really?
And then I was just like, So now I'm like intrigued. Now I'm watching this guy, and I'm like, I hope he brings it the way he's talking, because, you know, Matt's a badass dude, you know? I never seen Augustine before that. And then come fight night, Augustine brought it. He brought it. You know, it was an 8-round fight. They went all 8 rounds. Matt got the close decision, but I mean, that from that point on, I was like, oh shit. I was like, this dude got it. You know, this dude's tough Puerto Rican dude, brings it. They almost even fought after the bell rang. It was an impressive fight. And then, you know, I think whether it be bad management or whatever else was going on, but you know, Augustine didn't get the easy path in boxing. You know, I mean, he's fought Olympians. He's also fought. We were speaking about Jermaine before we went live. He fought Adorno, just like Jermaine did. You know, he fought Adorno. He's fought. I think he fought Richard Hitchens too. Did you fight Richard Hitchens too?
I think for Richard.
Oh,
But yeah,
Ooh, his audio.
I think you got bad service right now because you sound like real staticky. Nah, we can't really hear you. Try to maybe like log off and then log back on.
He was good in the beginning.
Yeah, he was good in the beginning. It might be because he's outside or it's something with the speaker.
Yeah.
Try. Okay, he logged off. I'll let him talk when he gets back on. And then okay. Oh, he's back on already? Yo.
I think we got his audio. We don't have his video, though.
Yo, can you hear us?
Maybe not.
Well, then I'll. Oh, can you hear us now?
Zero Doc 30.
You can see him now. That's a start.
Yeah.
Let's see. You good? Oh, we'll try again. All right, so then I'll move over to Wilfredo. So then on the flip side, never heard of Wilfredo. I just know he was a older gentleman looking to turn pro. Think maybe at the time they were thinking it was gonna just be one fight. Turned into a whole lot more. But he fought a tough veteran Puerto Rican brawler, Alex Peacock, for his pro debut. And he also impressed me. I was like, holy shit, like, not only can this dude fight, but this dude's got heart. You know, that was a really good fight. Especially for a pro debut. You know,
I got cut that night too.
You got cut. I mean, that fight was phenomenal. I wish I was doing video recording at the time when we were doing New England's Future 1, because then I would definitely send it out or post it or something, because that was a phenomenal fight.
I got that fight.
You do?
Yeah.
You gotta post that fight on YouTube, man. Oh, tag Rivera Promotions.
I got like my first. I got with Picot. I got with Anthony Everett. I got those two fights. I got some of my friends recorded, and they give me a drive.
Fast forward to New England's Future 3. So he fought again for us, number 2. I think number 2 you fought Brian Abraham.
No, on New England 2 I didn't fought because remember because of the cut, you were thinking that probably I wasn't ready for it. Okay. So I didn't. Yeah, I didn't.
You fought on New England's Future 3 at Anthony Everett. And that was another brawl.
Yes.
So this dude was battle tested within his first 2 fights, and I'm just like, oh shit, like, you know, we got something here, you know. Yeah. So talk to us a little bit because you know from previous podcasts we already got your background, how you started boxing. Talk to us about the journey starting with your pro career.
Well, like you said, like I was like, you know, hoping that before I decide to hand the glove, I want to try to be a professional, right? So I'm like, I just want to try it once. So I talked to my trainer and I said, Dave, I want just at least one professional fight. So then a couple months went by, and I think your dad asked him like, "Hey, do you have any professional fighter? You have any fighter wants to? Because we're doing a show. We're gonna do a show.
That was
Whatever."
me.
Oh, that was you. So, and
Yeah.
then like he says, "Well, I got Wilfredo." But when he told me that, a lot of people doesn't know that I bought the house. I recently bought my house, so I was working on the house. So I wasn't like going to the gym. I just went like confidentially, like went that week, start working out, and it's like, hey, do you really want to fight, pro? I'm like, yes. Okay, so I gotta fight for you. Which weight class do you want to fight? And I'm like 140. And he's like, what about 145? And I'm like, all right, but I was 180.
Oh,
I was 180.
oh,
And I think you guys, you tell him that was on August. I think you asked you to talk to him.
yeah.
So I got from August to January, beginning of January, to lose like almost 40 pounds.
You know what's crazy is it makes sense because I remember hunting him down for pictures of you for a poster.
Yeah.
And I think they were waiting for you to look a little less pudgy.
No, I was big. Me 180, I don't look good. I look like freaking like a little ball, like a basketball. So, but because, that's my dream. I like, well, finally I'm going to have my fight, and I'm going to get ready. And I was freaking like work so hard, like hard work, diet, everything. And a lot of people, like, when they saw me 2-3 months after, they're like, Fredo, are you okay? I'm like, what do you mean? Like you lost so much weight, and you don't look right. You look like, cause they used to see me with my face like a little ball, Now they can see they can really see my chin. And like, are you good? I'm like, yeah, I'm good. I'm training for a fight. I'm like, oh, but you sure you good? I'm like, yes, I'm good. But and then we find out about the opponent, Alexander Picard, and I saw, a couple of his fights, and I was like, he doesn't look like a really good fighter, but I can see he keeps coming. He keeps coming. His last fight, I think it was a draw in Dominican Republic, and I like, I don't know. I think it's gonna be a good fight. He already got 3 fights. It's gonna be his 4th fight against me. So my biggest thing is I didn't know, how it was like being pro. So when the first round start, here we go, like went back
Brawling.
and forward, brawling, and he was like, he landed some shots on me, and those 8-ounce gloves, I felt it. You know what I mean? Like, holy fuck. And I was like, you know what? This is my dream. I'm going to keep coming. I'm going to keep coming. I'm going to keep coming. But then, like, I started like, okay, I got to be smart now. I cannot brawl with him. So then I started slow down a little bit, and I started jabbing a little bit. And then I started putting my chops in. But that first round was the longest first round in my whole boxing career. It was a long round because I get hit a lot. That was easy. It could be like a 10-8 round. But the good thing is that round, I finished really strong. I hurt him and I hit him, get him to the rope, and I hit him. Every round he's trying to put pressure, but then me boxing and then hurt him at the end of the rounds, that's why I get some of those rounds, because I get him late and I hit him pretty good. So, but yeah, that was a really tough fight.
I think the trajectory of your career, I feel like, even though I didn't plan it that way, because usually, I had never seen Wilfredo fight, so I just really didn't know what he brought. I never seen Peacock fight, so typically you would go a little bit easier, but I mean, I feel like the Band-Aid got ripped off because, I mean, the first 2 fights of his career prepared him for everything else.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel like that got to be the hardest 2 fights of any fighter's career. You know, he had Peacock, pro debut, and then Anthony Everett, who already was like 6, 7, maybe 8 fights in.
Yeah.
For his second pro fight.
I think he was 1-7 and 1-8, something like that. It was, yeah.
So, I mean.
And he was big next to me.
And he was big. It was at 147. I think that's when I had told you we might have to go down to 40. But, you know, another southpaw, different style. You know, Peacock was short. Everett was tall. Peacock was face first, come forward brawler. Everett was more of a mover, but if Wilfredo trapped him, he would brawl with him.
Yeah.
So
and that's what happened on that fight. I make him. He started jabbing a little bit, and I'm like, fuck. But I started hitting with the hooks, stuff like that. And then I noticed that instead of him being tall, he started going low. He like bent his knee, and I'm like, oh, dude, you make things easier for me now. So he was, because he went for some reason. He just went that low to my level, like my high. So that's why I was.
It was like he was trying to bang with Wilfredo, but Anthony's body type, he's actually really meant to be a boxer. He's long, he's tall, he's lengthy, you know, and he's fast with his feet, he's fast with his hands, so he should be moving, sticking and moving. But when Wilfredo would trap him on the ropes, he would try to get down to Wilfredo's height and bang with him, but that was was when Wilfredo started taking the rounds.
Yeah. Yeah, and then he got me good in the rib, and I like, I felt something, but I, you know, like, you keep going, because, like, this is me, like, I'm, like, whatever, I felt, you know, as a fighter, you, like, I hate when some fighters are like, oh, I don't feel nothing, come on, like, you felt some punches, like, the adrenaline make you keep going.
Yes and no, because I remember vividly one fight where, and I swear on my life, I remember one fight where I felt the first punch, just the first punch. But after that, I didn't feel. I swear, Wilfredo, it was this. But I tell you what, the next day, my jaw was swollen and I like sore, like going, like talking, chewing. My nose was swollen and sore because it was a brawl.
Mm-hmm.
But the first overhand right, literally the first overhand right, boom. I didn't feel no other punches after that. And he hit me a lot. We brawled.
Yeah.
But after that, I don't know, everything went numb. I felt the first punch and that was it. It was crazy. But the next day, my body, I mean, going like this with my neck was sore. It was crazy.
Yeah. So and then like at the end of the fight, when everything was done, whatever, and I had one of the news at Worcester magazine, I think it was. They give me a small interview after the fight. Hey, how you feel about this? And I'm talking to them, and then all of a sudden, I like, you know, because I'm just get out of the ring, and I did like deep breath, and I like, oh, and I did it again. And like, oh, wait a minute, what's going on? Like, it felt funny. I like, how come? Like, you know, something's going on, but you know, you celebrating, you having fun, whatever. The next day, I went to fucking New London. I went to the beach, and I went to play volleyball. So when I jumped, trying to spike the ball, I have to I went down. I felt like something like move in there. I put my knee down, and I like, something's not right. Something is like, something pinched me. Something is not right. So went to get X-rays. Broken rib. And I was like, that's just like a bruise or whatever. Like, no, here, you see this line right here? This is broken. I like, what the fuck? So then they sent me to a specialist on UMass. And I'm like, what the fuck? I was like, I think I'm done. You know, like, and even my doctor doesn't know. She's like, my primary doctor, she's like, well, I think you're done. Like, I think your career is over. But I'm not the one that's gonna give you the final, you know, answer about it. I'm gonna send you to a specialist. He's gonna tell you. So when I went to see that guy, that doctor, he explained to me what's going on and how lucky I was and he says, "You gotta listen what I'm telling you. Like right now, it's nothing we can do because the good thing that happened, you rip it's broke, it cracked, but it stay right there. It didn't came out, like it didn't move anywhere. It stay right there. So you just gotta let it heal. That's gonna heal. Don't don't do anything. Don't play softball. No thinking about any boxing. Just let it heal, and you'll be fine. And he like talked to my wife, and is like, "Come here. I want him to understand what's going on. I'm telling you that he have to follow what I'm telling him because if that ribs get out, now I'm gonna do a surgery and it's
Oh,
like a metal bracket that I gotta put in there and he's done and that's painful. I'm like he's like he was really clear that I understand what he was trying to say. And I followed to him and then he said, well, the next fight was in, I think it was in August, and he's like, before that fight, I want to see you again, and I'm gonna do a bunch of tests to you.
October.
Oh, it was
It
October.
was October, yeah. Because it was June at the DCU Center, and then it was October at the DCU Center.
Yeah. So, and it's like, I want to give you the clear. I didn't tell that no one. You guys never know about it. Because
Shit, I didn't know. I didn't know it was that serious either.
No, because that's me. Like, I don't like to put stuff out there. You know, that was what, like how many years? Like 5 years ago. So, but yeah, and he checked me out, and he's like, "Oh, you listen to me, huh?" And like, "Yeah, well, how's everything?" Like, "Oh, you're great. You're good to fight. You like, it's awesome. The way you heal, everything healed is like perfect. You did a really good job." And I'm like, "No, thanks to you to give me that advice because if you don't tell me that, I would be a couple days after I would be playing softball because I'm like that. Like I always go through pain. I don't care, and I keep just doing my stuff. But yeah, that's what the word that what Anthony Everett did to me.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Did you ever worry about it again? Did you ever
No, no,
after when it finally got fixed or whatever? Did you ever
I get hit there before, and I didn't like. Maybe in the beginning I was like, but I didn't. Thank God, like no problem with the rib. Like everything was good. So
So it was just like a little fluke,
yeah,
little
he
fluke incident.
was one of those things. One of
This
those things.
last
It's
fight
part
was
of
a
the sport,
fluke.
huh?
This last fight was a
Nah,
fluke.
that was crazy because I really
You were
did watch it.
fine.
So here's the thing. I really did watch it from a few different angles, and like that left hand for sure landed before a head or anything like that. That left hand, like I watched, like from the angle that I was when obviously live, I originally thought it was a punch,
Yeah.
but then I was like, okay, maybe from his ankle it was a headbutt or whatever, But there was a lot of cameras there, so I got pictures, I got videos, I've seen it from a few different, I had a few different videographers there, and for me, I was just like, I was watching it and I'm like, nah, all jokes aside, that left hand definitely landed way before
Yeah. So what
head
happened
was
was
even. Matter of fact, I don't even think the head landed in that punch. It
no
was
that
after that.
that head was after that when I get caught, like
Yeah.
I got the perfect like what happened. So when I throw the first 1-2 hard because I was jabbing, throwing the jab, and I saw him like he was leaning in. So then like I tried to do like a fake with the jab and come in with the left hand. So he was coming in. I caught him right there, and then when I hit him, he went like when I hit him so hard that he went like forward because his motion was coming forward. So he went like he fought weird, like down and with his head down. It was a weird shit the way he went down. And he literally scratched my top of my head, not in my eye. My eye was fine. So after the 2 minutes with the ref picking him up, like bringing to the ropes, whatever.
I think it was because he was cut on the side of his head.
Something.
Yeah,
So
he was cut on the side. I saw it after because I was like, "What the fuck? Where did that come from?" He was cut like near on the side of the head above the ear. It was weird. It was like a weird place to get cut. So he never had like the head. Wilfredo's head never landed there.
no.
It was over here.
So then like I saw him when he get up, he was all like stumbling. He wasn't right. He was like all like walking to the ropes, complaining, but he wasn't walking right. He was like still dizzy. So
Yeah.
I'm like, all right. So, I listened to my corner, and he's like, oh, left hand, just left hand, come in, left hand. I'm like, okay, no problem. So finally the fight started again after minute and a half or 2 minutes, whatever happened. So I went in and trying to throw the left hand. And then he was like, I wasn't expecting he was gonna come in like that crazy, like,
Yeah.
Hey,
I was just about to ask you about that. Like, was it the two draws that you originally got in the beginning? So the first draw that you got with Marrero and the second draw that you got with Marrero, did that make you fight with a sense of urgency? Like it didn't look like you stuck to a game plan. It looked like you were going in there and just trying to take him the fuck out.
The game plan was like boxing, like trying to make him tired because we knew like he didn't look in shape. So we're like, he's gonna get tired quick. But what screwed everything up was because when a fight started, you can see me like throw the jab. I wasn't putting pressure right there. So I was just trying to get his timing because I assume he would, every time I was throwing the jab, he was trying to come in with the head. So I'm like, all right. So I'm trying to set him up with the left hand. So everything happened that quick. Boom, boom. Went down. Yeah. I'm like, okay, fight's over. I'm over here and in the corner, like, I'm done. I won the fight. I got people telling me, like, man, you knocked this guy out already. And I'm like, oh, shit. Finally, I got this. I got the W. I'm over here thinking, fight's done. I won the fight. And then I saw the ref start counting him. 1, 2, because I watched the whole thing. When when he went down, the ref started counting. Look at his official that he's the one that followed the counting. So and then he followed it. And then after when he counted 3, 4, he was listening to his corner and the guy. So and then all of a sudden he stopped, grabbed him with his arm, picking him up.
Yeah, because he was saying it was a headbutt.
Yeah, he was like complaining and whatever, and then like walking like whatever. And I'm over here like, the fight's done. Like, because I don't think in any sport, like, if you go down, you have to get up on your own. Like, that's the rule that I always understood that was going on. Any mixed match or boxing, whatever, you need to get up on your own. Even if it's a fall or something, you need to get up on your own. And then if you cannot continue, the ref have to make a decision. What happened? The guy cannot continue with accidental headbutt or whatever's going on. So his part, he did an awful job. I'm sorry, I don't like to talk like that, but he screwed everything up because of that. When finally the fight start over again, I'm over here like, what the fuck? I'm like, all right. So then I'm trying to knock him out. Like, I wasn't in the fight right there. I was just thinking, like, I already won the fight. I'm done. The fight's done. I'm like, wow, this is the quickest knockout ever in my career, whatever. Yeah, and then okay, no, the fight continued. And then when we start brawling, he was, I think he knew what he was doing because he was putting his head, and you can see him moving the head to the side.
Yeah, at that point, it was survival mode.
Yeah,
it was just desperation. But then he got a little macho because he started waving you.
Oh yeah. And I even drop it again because I hit him with hook. He put his glove down. The ref didn't give him any count either. because everything's so quick. But if you hit someone with a punch and it puts the glove down to the canvas, it's automatically a knockdown. So he didn't do his job either. And I'm like, hey, he didn't care. So then he started doing the macho thing. I'm like, all right. Then I did a quick step and hit it with an uppercut, left hand, and he went like this again. Then the round was over. So, and I like, here we go. And then I knew, like when I felt the blood was coming out, I knew that was another thing that I was like, because we had a couple clinch, and I was like, fuck, this doesn't look right, because I never felt like, even when I get cut with Picard, I only got like, I didn't even felt that I was bleeding, and my corner was telling me like, hey, you got a cut. I'm like, for real? Like, I don't see no blood right here. I'm like, oh fuck. But now this last fight, this was pouring like, and I'm like, what the fuck? And I'm like, oh man. And I'm like, oh fuck, they're gonna stop it. I knew they're gonna stop the fight. When I saw the doctor coming up and he's checking his head, he's like, and I'm like, fuck, please. And I start begging him. I'm like, please, give me one more round. My corner stopped the bleeding. But then the doctor came,
and then he opened it back up.
And he opened it up back. I'm like,
I was confused. I'm like, so what's going on? I'm like, okay. I'm like, he's good to go. And then I seen the whole, he was playing around with it, and I was,
I think he, because the cut was like, oh, here, and then I think when he opened it up back up, I think it went even like, I don't know, for some reason it felt like I felt that, and I'm like, and they was really pissed. They're like, what are you doing? Like, we stopped the bleeding, and then we did stop it again, and we keep telling, because they didn't even know what to say. They were like back and forth. Oh, what are we gonna do? I'm like, just let me do one more round, just one round. If I don't finish him in this round, do whatever you have to do, but just please, one more round. And it's like, he already make a decision. He made his decision when he went up, because when he checked his head the first time, he already made that decision. So, and that's what happened. And the other thing that pissed me off was when I went to see the other doctor that wanted to do the stitches. He kind of say like, depending on the scenario or whatever, he gave me one more round. Like,
actually, I mean, I saw it. I saw it when it was a little bit cleaned up, I guess. I mean, it was a pretty deep cut, but I personally thought Bobby's cut was worse. When Bobby fought Zapata.
Yeah.
The Palladium.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that cut was worse. Like when I didn't realize. So I mean, I knew you could see because we're sitting right there ringside, so I see the blood leaking down his eye. I know he's cut, but I didn't know the severity of his cut until after the fight when they announced him the winner. I go in the ring, I go to give him a hug, and I look. I'm like, oh shit! I'm like, that cut is deep, like, and it wasn't just deep. It was long. Like, it was from here to here. Like, it was crazy. And like, I talked to him about it. He goes, yo, like in those boxing movies growing up, or like that Rocky movie growing up, where like, they're like, or like any pretty much boxing, they're like, oh, I can't see, hit the guy in the middle, He's like, that's literally what he's like, yo, I didn't know I was bleeding until I lost vision in my eye. I'm like, oh shit. He's like, I fought off instinct after that.
Yeah. So that's.
But his was like above the eye, so you got all that blood leaking in your eye. I feel like Wilfredo's was leaking more sideways.
Mine was like to the side.
Yeah, it was leaking more sides. So, I mean, I would have just, because of the way the first round went, and I'm no doctor. I mean, obviously nobody's trying to see Wilfredo lose his eye, so it's up to their discretion. But
no, exactly.
because I saw the way the first round went, I would have just been like, all right, one more round at least. If Wilfredo got his ass whooped in the first round and he got cut, then I'd be like, all right, we're stopping this fight, because I'm not trying to see you get your ass whooped maybe in the second round, But Wilfredo had that whole round. I mean, yeah, there was a couple good exchanges, You know, the guy got a little machismo at one point in time. You know, but aside from that, like Wilfredo had the round under control. Yeah. So I would have just been like, you know what? Let's see what one. If anything, I would. If I'm the doctor, I would play close attention, even if I only give him 1 minute of the second round and then stand up and stop it. Like, you know what? No, but
that's how the other doctor tell. You know, that's perfectly what the other doctor says. Depend on who's the fighter. You know, stuff like that. Who was winning? Depend on the scenario. I
was so upset because I'm like, man. I brought this Mexican in last minute, paid hotel, paid flight, paid for him, paid for his trainer, for him to come give me 1 round of work, and then to make matters worse, he cost me more money because he fucking headbutt Wilfredo, and you gotta pay for that shit too.
Yeah. What pissed me off too is when I went to him and I, you know, start like, hey, you got a hard head, and he's like. Instead of say something good, because I said in Spanish, because he knows I know Spanish, so we talk in Spanish.
Yeah.
He took it like a joke. I'm like, this guy, like, fucking, like, he's here, he's not here. He's just like, you know, like, this motherfucker, I knew, like, he knew what he was doing. So, for me, I think, for some reason.
I just found out the commission in Mexico suspended him.
Yeah.
And I think it might have been because of that. Because he hasn't fought since. So what could he have gotten suspended for?
So listen, if Wilfredo gets robbed again, we're gonna burn the whole place down. Just keep that in mind. Tell the judges, keep that.
Don't say that. Don't say that.
I take it back.
Me like, hey, y'all can't come here. But
no,
on a side note, because you know the Marrero fight's in the past, the Israel Rojas fight is in the past. If anything, that. If Wilfredo learns from those, it makes him a better man. It makes him a better fighter. So, going forward, Augustine is having trouble with this link. I don't know why. It kind of sucks that he wasn't able to stay on. He delivered a message. I'll read the message. But, so basically what I was going to get to was, what are we going to see different? Because we know what you already bring. You know, what does Augustine bring to the table that makes you maybe change anything or don't change anything? What do you think this fight's gonna bring out of you?
Well, what I have to do is gotta be smart. I have to be the smart fight, you know, be the smart fighter that night. Because I know he's gonna brawl. I love the brawling, but I have to be smart because I cannot do, you know, I have to do some changes on my game plan because I know I love the brawling and he loves brawling. So this is whoever is the smart fighter and whoever got the best condition is gonna win that night. So, you know, we've been working a couple things. All I can say is that I just have to be smart.
Now, do you think that if you're smart and you're moving, and let's say he's coming forward, right? Do you think that the judges are gonna look at that as he's controlling the pace of the fight?
You know, like it's one thing right now, and it might sound like rude or maybe didn't sound right. I don't care about what the judges think, because when I'm having a good fight that I know in August I won the fight, but I know for a fact it was close. I know it was close. I won the fight. The judges didn't see me win the fight. They didn't see me lose either. And then in December, it was that more clear than anything, more clear than whatever water was in here. That I definitely beat Marrero, like even before the fight, because all this trash talking, I beat him. Like he showed me at the weigh-in that he was done. So he didn't fight his fight. All he was doing is complaining and crying and complaining. And if you watch the fight again, I drop him in the second round with that body punch. and the because he complained to the ref that it was a low blow, but it wasn't a low blow. It was right at the belt line, and he got his belt like almost to his freaking like armpit. So, and I got the picture. I got the perfect shot, and then he had to recover like 3 minutes or whatever. So, but other than that, the whole fight, I was putting the pressure. I was landing the shot. He's trying to be a show off in the beginning, trying to like camera, like he made me miss, trying to show off to the judges. And then I did it to him. I make him miss a couple times, and I'm like,
You waved. I
yeah,
remember
like, you
that.
can't see me. So I'm like, like, and I
Wilfredo's like,
can
I
see
could
he
box.
was,
I could box too.
yeah, and I can see like he don't want part of it, like that night. And I'm like, I put my knee down before the decision. Finally I got this. It's clear. Like, hey, I won this fight, and I like when I heard the decision, I like, upset and like disappointed. Right now, I'm still a little bit disappointed on what happened on these 3 fights, and I don't know what to do because we're like, oh, we need to finish him. We need to finish the fight right. We need to knock him out like we did with Israel Rojas. Didn't work out in my favor either. We need to box. Didn't work out in my favor either. We need to ball a little bit, like in the first fight. Didn't
I
work
think
out
you
in my.
gotta find. I think in this fight, you're gonna have to pull out both. I think.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think if whether it be 3 rounds of boxing, 3 rounds of brawling, or whether it be boxing for the first 2.5 minutes and then the last 30 seconds of each round brawling. I think this is the fight that you're gonna have to pull out most. I'm gonna read you what Augustine said. Augustine had said something about his Wi-Fi is shit. He said it's his fault. He said he apologizes that he had a lot of shit in his heart that he wanted to air out. He said, but it's straight. He said Pagan knows in his heart that it's ruthless fight because he's Augustine Ruthless Morris. He said, I'm ruthless because look at all the studs I call out. Pagan ain't even a stud. He belongs in a nursery home. We gotta get. I know you're not the shit talker, but we're gonna need a little bit of a response from that, Wilfredo.
Well, no. I never talk shit about no one. Everybody can say whatever they want to say. Uh, but that when they get punched that night, that's when you really know if you know, because it's true. Like you can say whatever, and everybody has their own way how to motivate themselves. Um, that's the way he's motivating himself, and that's good, and nothing wrong with that. You have to motivate yourself somehow to get into a fight, to get yourself in shape, to get yourself more training, more focus to the fight. Uh, but that's not me. My motivation is me, looking at me, looking to improve myself, looking to be a better fighter every time, every night. I don't have to talk shit about no other contender, never, because the night of the fight, that's when we're gonna find out who is who and who had the best night. So that night is gonna prove who's in better shape. It's gonna prove who's the best fighter, and I'm
So
ready for it. I'm ready for
my
everything.
my
I've been
my,
through a
my
lot of
next
stuff. I'm ready.
my next question uh, is what's next after this belt? Let's just say hypothetically speaking, you win this fight, you win this belt, you finally have something that you could say I achieved something that some other fighters have never been able to achieve. That's something you get to hand down to your daughters and
Mhm.
eventually grandkids one day. Um,
Well,
does it end there for you?
well, this is one of the questions that is the biggest question. Like I know everybody is asking me the same question. Um, I'm always in all my fights because remember I was begging to get just one professional fight. Now I'm going to my number 11. Uh, I always take one fight at a time. Depending on how I felt after the fight, that's when I make a decision if I'm fighting again. So these couple fights, I felt like rejuvenate. You know, I felt like, I don't know, I felt so good, and like I could keep doing
Usana.
it. So
I had a cough.
yeah. So on this one, winning this fight, I need to defend the belt. I think as a fighter, if you win the championship and retire, I don't think that's gonna look good. I don't think so. I don't know. But once again, my plan is winning this fight, defend the belt, and then we'll see what's after. But
Okay,
anything can happen, whatever how the fight goes through.
let's just say that you win the fight. Do you have anyone in mind specifically, or maybe a few people in mind that you would like to defend your belt against?
You know, like, honestly, like, I know we had this question before, and I mentioned Marcus Bates. And the reason is it's just because that's my first loss. It
Your only
doesn't mean
loss.
that my only loss. Yeah, my first loss. Yeah, my only loss. So, and this is like every fighter always want revenge. They always want to see if they can get that revenge back. You know, so that's the only fight that probably I can think like that we really want it. I gotta check my team, what my team says. In my heart, I want it because that's my only loss. Other than that,
That's good though, because a lot of guys, especially guys, if they lose in that kind of like fashion, a lot of guys they avoid that for like the Black Plague. Like I want nothing to do. Like for example, he said he wants a rematch, but in September he's fighting Triple G. You know that Canelo doesn't want to fight Bivol again.
yeah.
He don't want to get a pela like that and fight him again. He wants he don't want no parts of him again. He's like, you know what? I'm gonna go back down in weight. I'm gonna fight Triple G and go my route. Because if he really in his heart wanted that again, he would have just exercised the rematch clause, like
Definitely.
Kambosos did with Haney. He exercised the rematch clause. You got to fight me right away. Anthony Joshua, even though Anthony Joshua got the shit beat out of him, he got outboxed by Usyk. He exercised the rematch clause right away because maybe I felt like deep down he's like, you know what? Maybe he either had distractions outside of the training camp, or maybe he just didn't have a good training camp that he's like, you know what? If I got a better training camp, I could beat this guy. He's nothing special. He's with a new trainer. He's with Garcia's older brother. I believe he's with Robert Garcia. So
yeah, I think so. Yeah,
it's good. That's something like if you feel like that, it's because you feel like he caught you on a night where you weren't yourself. And maybe whether it be outside distractions or outside,
it was some distraction on the
or maybe do you think maybe you underestimated him?
No, we knew it was gonna be a good fight. We knew that at the beginning. I trained like I never I trained so hard for that one. But the biggest thing was like I had 2 training camps. I got training camp with Dave, and I got the training camp with what's his name? Christian. So yeah. So it was a lot of distraction. It was all my fault because all I was thinking is to improve myself, boxing skill.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get from both sides, learning, and it became like it was a mess. Even at when the round was over, it was a mess. Christian was in the corner. You got Dave, you got Mike, and they were like, it was some distraction. But at the end of the day, I was the one to make that distraction. I was the one that was in the ring. So that's not an excuse, but in my head, it's like maybe I made a mistake because of that. Maybe that's why I lost the fight. So because I was doing pretty good. I did really good in the first round. Second round, he put a lot of pressure. I hit him good. He just stumbled, went to the ropes, and I like bring the macho like what the Mexican did to me, and I like, all right, come on, like because I was like, you're not gonna hurt me. I'm coming for you. I'm coming for you, and that's why I guess cut with that stupid right hand, right in the fucking, right in the middle of the freaking
That area, that sternum,
that area
that
that
solar
I
plex.
don't
It's
know how.
so small. It's like this. It's like this fucking big. But
Mhm.
if a punch lands there, if anything lands there, it's a guaranteed knee. That part
Yeah,
you have to, because you're temporarily paralyzed.
the paralyzed. Yeah,
Your brain's like move. Your brain's like breathe. Your brain's like go somewhere, fight back, do
hmm
something. But your body, it won't let you. You're like,
yeah. And the biggest problem that I did is when I get hit there, like I'm looking, I put my knee down and I'm looking at the ref, and then like when I went to get some air, I put my head down. If for some reason it took me a little longer, like it like, and then when I get up on 8. The ref stopped the fight right there. He didn't give me a chance. He just stopped it. And I like, fuck. I thought he was like, 6. And it's
yeah.
like, I lost like 2 counts when I looked down. And that's what screwed up too. And I'm like, fuck. And you can see, like, after that, I'm checking my head. I'm like, dumbass. So, but hey, it is what it is. He was the better man that night. He's humble. He's been like we follow each other in Facebook, Instagram, and he's really nice. Like even on the last fight, he was the first one. Like when I was getting out of the ring, he came over to me and said, "Oh man, I'm sorry." Like he congratulated me. It was a good fight, and too bad I get caught. Right away. So all respect to him. It's just nothing. Like you said, like I
Yeah.
always say, like I don't have
It's
nothing
business.
against
Yeah.
any.
You got
Yeah,
nothing. It's just
business.
as you have something that I want. I want
Yeah.
to avenge myself. There's nothing wrong with that. Let's just say hypothetically speaking, because his career sometimes careers end up going in different paths.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just say hypothetically speaking, like that rematch never happens, right? Is there any backups that you have that you were like, what, I won't mind sharing the ring, I wouldn't mind tangoing with you.
No, not really. Like I said one thing I said is like winning this belt. If all of a
Everyone's
sudden I
gonna
get
be
him,
gunning for you though.
I know. I already been. I already. There's some guy already been calling me out, but I just
Oh yeah. Matter of fact, you might as well call him out on the podcast. He called you out.
like
Ask him if he
whatever.
still wants to fight. He got stopped in his last fight.
He probably wants it. I mean, like,
You still
but
want it?
just like I said, like if winning this belt bring me like a big fight, like big money, I'm like, why not? Like, take a chance. But like
I say after New England, instead of defending the New England belt, I say we try to win a bigger belt, like a ABO, a UBF, a WBF.
and that's what that's what is keeping me going. Like right now, honestly,
Win a
that's
bigger belt.
why I'm fighting because of the goal. I want to fight for the belt. If it's not for the belt, honestly, I would take a like a long layoff and like a couple months off and all right, because I have basically 4 fights in a row. Like I never. I
So yeah,
wasn't
what we're
ever
gonna do
that
is
active.
so we're doing our show September, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna give you guys a rest because we're gonna do a banger in November. So I know a lot of guys they want to keep fighting, but it's been a busy year.
Yeah.
So we're gonna give some of our guys a rest in September. Let the body heal up, let the mind, the soul, everything heal up. Train, spend some time with the family, but we're expecting fireworks in November.
Yeah.
So September, we're gonna see a new crowd, a new crowd of guys that typically don't get on our shows.
I
It's
got a
time
guy
to.
I got a guy too. I'm gonna talk to you about it.
I,
That
I was
he's
gonna say
looking.
I was actually gonna ask you. It's funny. We'll say his name out here because I've been paying attention to him. Wilfredo did bring this guy up to me from Southbridge. He's undefeated now. He's 4-0. First time I met him was in your locker room. Super humble, super nice kid. And I was like, you know what? I'll work with this kid. But every time I look, he has like 2, 3, 4 fights ahead of time booked. Like this dude is booked and booked. But I noticed when I last looked on BoxRec, the shows that he was booked for, he was booked like 3, 4 shows. He's not on them anymore. So I was gonna ask if maybe it was an injury or maybe it was business related, whatever it
No,
was.
I
Because
find out.
I also don't want to step on anyone's toes. If it was a injury, but he still plans to fight with the other company, then it's like, okay, I'll fall back. But if he's not working with them anymore, you know, he's more than
No,
welcome to fight for Rivera Promotions.
I mean, like I can talk to him and ask him what's going on, what's the deal. Last time I heard that he was taking a little bit, a couple months off. He need to, like he wants to enjoy it, because that's what I heard. But it wasn't him directly, so I can call him up tomorrow and then find out what's going on, because I know he's
Shoot him my
he's
number.
really humble. He's a humble kid. He's hungry. And
Shoot him.
he got skills. He got some skills. He's young, so I can talk to him. And I
Shoot
also
him my
got
number. Tell him to reach out to me anytime.
yeah, I will. And I also got another guy that he willing to sign, to do a professional fight. Is Omar. I don't know if you know Omar. Omar Colon. I think your dad know him. He's a really decent fighter. Uh, but he was when I make the commitment that I want to, do my professional fight. So he was working out with me. We both was have the same mentality. And then, he just step out. He's working hard, doing a bunch of other stuff, doing CrossFit, stuff like that. So he was out for a while. Now he's back at it, and he's hungry, and he's been like training and running, and he's like, he wants it.
So that's
But
what
I
I
also,
want to do. I want to do for my September show. I want to do new faces. We have our. I would like to say that we have our team, our steady set of guys that, we might do 10, 11, 12 fights, and 8 of them are gonna be guys that we always use. Maybe like 2 to 4 of them will be new guys.
yeah.
But for the most part, the consistent guys are there.
Mm-hmm.
So in September, I want to bring in a new group. Because some of you guys are gonna start getting signed. Some of you guys are gonna start getting bigger fights. Some of you guys are gonna be getting ready for retirement soon.
Mm-hmm.
So we gotta start.
Exactly. You need to. No, it's true. It's
for life. We have to find life after a Popeye, life after a Wilfredo, life
exactly.
after a Kendrick. Life after who else has been with us a ton? Life after Omar. We gotta find life after these guys because
exactly.
it's not forever.
You're right. Yeah.
And but you know what? It's still for me is like it's super dope to see a lot of these guys graduate. Like it feels like a graduation.
Yeah, no, it's true.
It feels like a graduation, like going from your high school graduation to college.
No, and it like I said, that's why every time you guys ask me, we're gonna put this show, you interested? And like I always say yes, because you guys been like with me since day one, and always been a blast. Now you guys give me opportunity to fight for a belt, like 3 times. This is gonna be the 4th time, like it's been blessed, and I always like have, like I think like Carita was saying that to you guys, I have flower, I give flower to you guys, but it's just a lot of respect and freaking like, you know, I love you guys no matter what. Like, I know a couple times people like on the last couple fight, people like asking me like, oh man, are you still fighting with that for them? I'm like, yes. Oh, what they did to you, this is nothing them. This is not them. This is the freaking the judges, the commissioner, whatever's going on.
It's so crazy how people like
People,
even
that's how
Carlos's people were like sending me messages and they were leaving comments that I robbed them and the judges gave them the belt and I talked to the judges and then they took it back and made it a draw. I'm like, yo, y'all think I got Floyd Mayweather money? Y'all think
exactly
to be
I know.
bribing these judges?
If you're talking about that level,
Bro, I'm not putting, first of all, I'm so stressed leading up to the show. I'm not putting it, like, when the day of the show comes, aside from setting up, I'm trying to just enjoy the fights. I'm not putting any extra stress on me. And I'm like hands off. I just watch. Whatever happens in there is what the fighters did. Like, I put in the work. I did I got to meet with the commission. I got to do my shit. I do my part. The day of the fight, we find out if they were doing their part. You know, it was just two great fights. You know, the headbutt, the freak accident there. I mean, shit, you think I want to spend all that money to bring in a Mexican to fight for 3 fucking minutes?
yeah.
Come on. I mean,
Everybody,
I had to pay for him and his
That's why he was so happy
to come from Mexico, to put him in a hotel, feed both of them, not just one of them. I gotta feed him and the trainer, and get them to the weigh-in. They don't got cars, so now I gotta pay a driver to drive.
I gotta say though, the WWE and me want to say it would be genius to fix that second fight.
But it's just so crazy to me that actually crosses fans' minds. Like, I'll never forget, and this is no shade at no one. You know, me and Shaka, I feel like me and Shaka have squashed what happened in the past. But I remember Sosa was supposed to fight Shaka. Shaka came in overweight. Sosa and his team wanted money for the pounds, which they are entitled to that. Very much entitled. Any fighter that comes in overweight, whether you're A side or B side, if anybody asks you for money, they're entitled to that shit because they put in the work to make the weight. You didn't. So miscommunication, whatever excuse happened, but what ended up happening was he was like, no, I'm either getting my full bread or I'm not fighting. Sosa's camp was like, nah, you're coughing up bread. Shaka was like, no, I'm not. So then what ended up happening was he drove back to Norwalk, Connecticut, wherever he's from, right? And then by the time Sosa's people were like, you know what, fuck it, we won't take bread from him. We'll fight him. He was like, nah, I'm already back home. So then they got Sosa's camp got so desperate, they were like, yo, we'll give you our purse. So now we're giving you your purse and our purse for you to fight. And he was like, no, I'm not coming back. I already drove back home. I'm like 2.5 hours away. I'm not coming back. And there was actually people out there who think I set that up. Like, it was a huge thing. I'm like,
for what? Publicity?
What am I gonna sit there and take the time to hunt guys down for your medicals, for your fighter application, for your ID, for your walkout song, all the shit that Wilfredo's in the group messages. Every show, there's either a New England's Future 7, or New 8, a New England's Future 9, right now we're in New England's Future 10. They're all in a group message. Hey, fellas, send me your walkout songs. Hey, fellas, I need your physicals. I need your blood. I need your EKG. Hey, fellas, whoever didn't send me an application, get your applications to me. The deadline's this week. I'm on their asses. You think I really want to be hunting you down? Then to make matters worse, this is how uneducated some people from the outside looking in are. I needed that fight. The commission cut me a break that day, so Popeye's opponent didn't get his medicals in time. So Popeye fell out. That was like an 8-round fight right there. I had a couple injuries. I had a few fallouts that night, and Sosa's fight was a 6-round fight. When that fight fell out, I lose another 6 rounds. I didn't meet the minimum. The minimum, I think, if I'm not mistaken, the minimum is 24 rounds. You need to have 24 rounds on the card. And with Sosa's fight falling out, I was at like 20. But the commission cut me a break because it was like, yo, this dude kicked rocks the day of the weigh-in. Like, so it's so crazy to me how, like, yeah, me and my dad told Shaka to go home. Bro, we needed that fucking fight.
Yeah.
We needed that. That was a 6-round fight that we just lost. Regardless how many tickets Sosa sold, regardless if he didn't sell a lot or did sell, like, we needed that fight to meet the minimum amount of rounds.
Yeah.
So that's just the crazy part for me. Like, how just the assumption of a lot of people who don't know boxing, you know, because Bobby gets a lot in his ear too, you know, where they be like, you know, oh, they're gonna take advantage of you because they know you, because they have a close personal relationship with you. It's like, bro, for what? For what? You know, when you're at my thing about it is the boxing world is so big and it's so little at the same time that the last thing that you want is a reputation that's not good. Because you know, it's different when you're at $1 million level already. It kind of doesn't matter because you got so much money that someone's gonna sign with you. Like, look at Don King. Don King didn't pay Du Bois his purse. That fight just happened like a few weeks ago. Imagine that in 2022, we're still talking about Don King ripping motherfuckers off.
I seen him earlier today. It's crazy. I seen it on TV.
But notice he's also not as busy. You know, he's not as busy because everybody knows what he is.
Yeah.
So, you know, everyone goes, but he's got so much money that there's still that one dumbass that still decides to work with him. You know, so it's the same.
Yeah.
It's for us where we're trying to get to that level. It's like, nah, we're trying to have the total opposite reputation. We're trying to make Rivera, like, I would love when we really get to that level and get to that point, you know, as these shows get bigger, and I would love to maybe even give one of these fighters my job as like a matchmaker. It would be one less thing I would have to do, or maybe help me be like an assistant matchmaker. Like, you know, let's say when Wilfredo retires boxing, I'm like, you know what, come work for Rivera Promotions. I'll teach you how to match make fights, and, you know, just as an example, like, it'd be dope to maybe even, like, you know, this we know who's been with us from the beginning. You know, we know who's really supportive, who's not.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can't really do shit about, you know, what other people have to say.
Yeah,
you know,
it's like
everyone's opinions are like assholes. Everyone has one.
Yeah,
you know?
no, it's always like that. And,
you know,
and
it's funny. It's always
over.
from the most. It's always from the most uneducated people that have the most to say. Whether it be like, oh, you should have fought, like Kyrie was saying, like, you won't fight me though. You calling me scared, you calling me this, you calling me that, but will you get in the ring with me? No, you won't. Don't tell me. I don't tell you how to do your job. Don't tell me how to do mine.
Yeah, no,
You know?
he was really clear in you know, his words last night. I mean, like, I understand.
He was awesome.
Yeah, no, he did a pretty good job. It's like the mentality now, boxing changed a little bit, especially like the perfect point in what he was saying. Like, a lot of people, for some reason, these days are dying left and right, in the ring, outside the ring. It's just like it's crazy.
But you know what it is? You know what it is? And as much as I love Massachusetts Commission, I love you guys. You guys help me out a lot. As much as they drive me crazy though with the extensive, strict medicals, it's necessary.
Yeah.
Because those places where people are dying are places where you only need a physical and blood work.
Yeah.
You know, or like, it's just so mind-boggling to me how, like, sometimes I'm trying to find opponents and I'm like, yo, you last fought in February, your medicals should be good. They're like, yeah, my medicals are good. I'm like, all right, send me what you got. They'll send me like physical and blood. I'm like, okay, where's your eye? Where's your EKG? Where's your cat? Oh, no, I don't got none of that. How'd you fight 2 months ago? Oh no, this commission didn't require that. I'm like, are you serious? You got to just fight with a physical and blood?
Yeah.
Some commissions out there are like that.
Yeah,
So
without knowing
how
the
you know
story.
what's going on inside a guy's head if you don't do a CAT scan or an MRI? How you know what's going on inside a guy's heart if you're not doing an EKG? How you know if a guy doesn't have retina issues if you're not doing an eye exam? You know, so Massachusetts, New York, Philadelphia, California, I look for guys who have fought in those areas because they require the same thing. Those are the big fight states. You know, Rhode Island, they require the same things, you know. But
yeah,
when I see guys who fought only in Idaho, only in South Carolina, only in Mississippi, like I'm like, I already know what it is. I'm like, you, and those be the guys that are like 1-40.
well, even in Rhode Island, when I fought there, I gave in all my paperwork because I was racing. My fight was on with Carlos Galindo, and then 2 months after I had the fight in April with Marcus Bates. So
Yeah.
they sent me to a doctor to do, like, I thought they're gonna give me another CAT scan and stuff like that, but it wasn't that. It was just like a freaking to see how my memory is. So he was
like a neuro. It was a neuro test.
yeah, like blue, red, black, red, whatever. Tell me that order again. And I'm like blue, red, black, and then car, house, toy, and I'm like, what the fuck? What the fuck is going on? And he's like, you miss a couple of them, but you're pretty good. You are pretty good. And I'm like, and I was like, what the fuck is this shit? I was lost, like, why are you doing that? He got me off guard because I never knew he would do things like that.
But it goes to show you how different the commission, they're not across the board. So when people, nobody likes to see, obviously, if you're in a war, a tough war, that's one thing. But when you see those people that are, just randomly, like they were winning the fight and they just die, like,
yeah,
more often than not, he had pre-existing conditions that commission didn't catch on to. New Hampshire was just under fire. They got a whole new commission. They're like super. I heard they're stricter than Massachusetts now. But because before people were like, "Yo, Wilfredo, let me get your medicals. I'm gonna go turn those in and use them as myself." Like, it was crazy. It's free for all over there.
Yeah, and dehydration too. That's a big part too. When people try to make weight.
That's why I heard California is doing. I think it's like a 12 or 15 pound rule or whatever for that reason. Like, they're doing like a dehydration thing, a dehydration clause, a rehydration clause, just because, I mean, one is dangerous to have a fighter that, let's just say, Wilfredo, he fits well at 147, but he's not gonna blow up to 160 the next day. No. Maybe 150, if anything, 154. But you got guys that will make 140 and be 160 the next day because they suck themselves that low.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's just not a sport to be played with. That's why it's crazy, man. Don't get me wrong. It's super entertaining. But when you see Adrian Peterson versus Le'Veon Bell, two NFL running backs that both probably, God forgive me, got CTE, you about to put them in a boxing ring? Two guys that have never fought a day in their life. Old, too. They're not young. They're old. Their bodies have already taken crazy abuse, and they're about to fight pro.
Yep.
I get it. It's entertainment now.
And they look for the money because now those guys make a ton of money. Guys like that.
It's the
they're like,
fuck it. Fan base. That's why I need you to start telling guys to kiss your ass, Wilfredo.
Yeah.
Wilfredo, start telling guys, you know what? Kiss my ass. Come see me in the ring.
Oh, man.
That way we could start making some big money. People will be like, oh, man, this old Spanish guy. You got to watch him.
Yeah, I know. That's what makes the fights more interest. But I can't. Like, this is not me. So I can't,
But you know
Now,
what? Though?
when I'm in the
You
ring, I'm different
You
level.
got the pride of Southbridge. You got a home in Worcester now, and you got the pride of Puerto Rico. And I feel like that's one thing that a lot of Hispanic fighters have good is that the island supports. The
Yeah,
island
no.
supports. Like I remember, I never forget. Before I even knew who Pitufo was, Pitufo fought. It was Pitufo and that kid Julian Hammerhands, Julian Rodriguez. They all fought at Madison Square Garden the same day Terrence Crawford fought Hank Lundy.
Hmm.
I was there, but I'll never forget hearing chants. Like it literally felt like, yo, we might be in Puerto Rico right now.
Yeah, yeah.
Because it was like for these young Puerto Rican kids who were not nobodies at the time, you know, they were maybe 8-0, 10-0, 12-0, whatever.
Mhm.
You had the whole pride of Puerto Rico in Madison Square Garden just yelling for these kids. I'm like, oh,
It's
shit.
like it's like me when I'm going to the Palladium. It's like I know, I sell some tickets, but all those people screaming out there that I saw, I'm like, and I'm like, this is not all my people. This is like freaking like, like a
These are
lot of
fans that you
people.
won over.
Yeah, and
Yep.
I'm like, wow. And they always follow me. They always send me message. You got this, champ. You got people buying me hat from Worcester. A lot of people from Worcester, Framingham, Connecticut. They love my style. They love the way I am. And sometimes I felt a little bit like upset, like, wow, my people here in Southbury, I got a lot of people that follow me good and they, always there. But I'm like, that's not the whole Southbridge, like I see a lot of support from Worcester, from towns that I don't live there, but I love the way they treat me, like it's
There's a quote. It was like the man will never get love from his own village. It was something along those lines where, and it's true. It's true.
yeah.
There's a lot of people that will love you from wherever you're not from, support you from, and that's one of my favorite things about not working with the Worcester guys. I love my Worcester guys. A lot of these guys are like my brothers. I grew up boxing with them, training with them. Some of their dads were on the boxing team with my dad, so that's how deep and far back we go. But like for me, I feel like the appreciation level is there from guys who met me through boxing as opposed to guys who have known me my whole life. The demand and the expectations are far greater from them than it is from the other guys. They're gimme. I expect this. You got to do this. I'm this. And it's like, wait, hold up, bro. Relax.
Yeah.
You're not gonna make these demands to Lou DiBella. You're not gonna make these demands to Al Heyman, to Eddie Hearn. You ain't even gonna make these demands to Mr. Birchfield. So why are you sitting here trying to make them to me? Why? Because you know me, probably because you know me for 20-something years.
Yeah.
So it's
No,
like,
no, it's like that. And like my people from Puerto Rico, man, they like even on this last fight, they were planning to do a parade, like, oh, he's coming vacation, so he's gonna come with the belt. We're gonna do a parade. We're gonna receive it like a champ. Like we're gonna do like a Trinidad shit, like when they used to receive Trinidad. And I'm like, when I go there and they were upset, like, oh man, the fucking judges, man, they keep ripping up, they keep doing this to you. And we had all these plans. We have all
they
this for
surprised
you.
my dad. They did the same thing when my dad went up in weight and became a world champion at junior middleweight. We get to the airport. So mind you, my dad has not seen his new belt yet. Usually by now, we would have gotten it. Like, we would have got the belt, whatever. My dad still don't have the belt. We get to Puerto Rico. Who's at the fucking airport with my dad's new belt, handing it to him? Tito. It was so dope. I'm going to have to pull up that picture. Yeah, it was so dope. He's at the airport, like almost like a passing of the torch. It was cool. It was really cool. I'm gonna pull up that picture. But
now Tito Trinidad is he's so humble, man.
He was at the Southbridge parade. Remember we did that?
I was there.
Yeah.
I walk with him. I was with him and it's funny because like when Trinidad's era, like I love Trinidad, but I wasn't like a true fan. Like I wasn't like I
Yeah.
love Macho Camacho. I love John Molina. Those are like my fighters. Those are the ones that I will follow a lot. Trinidad, yeah, it was good, whatever. And then he become a champion. And I'm like, wow, this guy got hit. Got good hit. Wow.
Oh, that's cool as hell.
That was at the airport.
Yeah, that's amazing. So and then like we did this parade here, and he was invited to it, and I was walking with him, and I was like, what the fuck, like you know I'm so happy like how all my career been through, thanks to you guys once again, because without boxing, not on this, like walking with Trinidad, doing the first speech on the Woo Sox, like that wasn't like
Chris Sale pitched today for them.
I know, but I had a game. I was like, oh man, Chris Sale. Was like, they sent me that link.
Bayo got called up too.
Yeah. No, I need to go back. Well, I got the season pass, so I can go anytime. I just gotta let her know.
You got a season pack for the Woo Sox?
Yeah, she gave me a season pass. I think. Let me get it. Hold on.
Oh,
Oh, phone went down.
damn. Wilfredo got the hookup.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Let's see. See?
Wow.
So season pass.
Look at that.
So
That's awesome.
and they are like, when you gonna come? When you gonna come? I'm like, well, the middle of all this training, all this stuff, I can't, but that's why I need to, after this fight, take a little break and enjoy the other stuff.
I wish I
wish
wish I could do the same, but right after this fight,
I know.
for
Go to
September.
the next one. No, you
Yeah,
got.
I'm
business to do.
I'm already preparing. Like I'm already scouting and talking to guys. Like, hey, boo boo, because it's like you have to, especially when there's like maybe I probably say maybe there's one show out the year where I'm not in competition with other promoters, so I have an easy pick of opponents.
Yeah.
But if I'm doing a show, let's say in September, but you got two promoters locally doing a show in August, you got 2 or 3 of them doing one in September, one of them doing one in October, you gotta like hurry up and get opponents locked in. Otherwise,
Before they
they're
take
not
them, yeah,
available.
I know.
Now I'm going to find guys in Wisconsin.
Yeah, I know. There's too many shows in a row, like crazy now.
And then once you fight, you get suspended. That's it. So it's like 30-day. There was a couple guys who fought June 26th. 2 of them I was gonna use on the July show, and they got stopped. So they got like 30 and 45-day suspension. So that obviously passes July 15th.
Yeah.
So, but before we wrap it up, anything you want to say to sponsors, fans, what we could expect?
Well, once again, my boxing fans, I still got some tickets, $40. Still have some ringside tickets left. Just you need to go that night because it's gonna be an amazing night. It's gonna be another like Wilfredo Pagan, El Zucaro. It's gonna be another like since first round to last round action. It's gonna be no doubt. It's gonna be action. So you're not gonna regret this fight, and the whole card is gonna be amazing too. So shout out to my my sponsor, Renaissance Medical Group, Jackie Realtor, Sean Funeral Home, Ace Fitness Solution, Dow's car services. All my people from Puerto Rico, like mi barrio, Cantito, mi gente, los quiero de corazón, siempre los llevo de corazón y vamos a dar el máximo porque esa victoria va a llegar. So, a couple things in Spanish for my people in Puerto Rico. But the people from Southbridge, once again, I need your support, guys. Come see me. Come this this July 15th, next Friday. It's like a couple days more. What, like 7 days? I don't know, like something like that. Like
Right now
Yeah,
we're at
so
9.
we're at
9
the
days.
9 days.
Yeah, so
9
9
days.
days.
So
to
fighters, wrap yourselves in bubbles. Don't go out. Don't get hurt. Don't catch COVID. Keep your ass in the house. I don't want to hear shit until we get to the day of the weigh-in.
no,
Yeah,
no stress.
yeah.
And
Once again,
also, the Palladium was a phenomenal place to watch these fights. Let's give a
yeah,
shout
it's
to
good.
that. So get it in. You never know. I mean, take advantage of the moment. This is going to be a great card from front to back, man. So Palladium, last
English
time
Future
Wilfredo
10.
had it rocking, man.
There we
That
go.
place was,
Another fight of the night over here is coming again. It's
Forget
gonna
fight of the
happen.
night. We need New England fight of the year.
yeah, always fight of the year with you. It's crazy.
Yeah, something.
Can we top?
You know,
My thing
you know
about
what's
it is,
funny
can
too?
we top a Pagan Marrero fight? Can there be better than that?
I think so. I think it will be better. It's gonna be better. And the funny thing is, my whole career in boxing, even in the amateur, I got that outstanding, like on the Golden Glove, outstanding fighter of the night. I got the best fight of the night like 2 or 3 times.
Because you bring that style.
It's just people love that, and it's like, even I had a chance to fight, represent USA against Ireland when they came down to Springfield. They give me the opportunity to fight, and that was the best fight of the night. We got the big trophy, and I lost. I lost against the Irish guy, split decision, 1 point, and then I was like, man, I was upset. Went home. I was driving back home, and they called me, hey, you need to go back. I'm like, what do you mean? Like, I'm just heading home. I'm like, no, you need to come back. You got the you got a big trophy, best fight of the night, and then I have to drive back to get the trophy. And it's just like fucking
That's fire.
my whole life's been like that.
Well, for New England's Future 10, I decided to do something different. There's a knockout of the night trophy.
I know.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Nice.
So
We'll see what's gonna happen.
Love it.
All right.
Absolutely love it, man.
take it easy. We'll be seeing you at the weigh-in, brother.
All right, man. Thank you guys for everything again. God bless you guys, and once again, it's all hard here. Thank you guys.
Amazing, man. Guys, thank you very much for tuning in. AJ, thank you again. We might be back tomorrow night. We got a whole mess of fighters to cover. We got 9 days. If you guys don't have tickets yet, go get them. They're not going to last, I'll tell you that.
Yeah,
And-
tickets.
Get them. I'm posting them everywhere, so everybody get them in. We'll see you guys. Tune in next time.